Hey you guys, how you doing? I hope all is well. I bless you in the name of the Lord, and keep fighting the good fight in faith. Today's business topic and business meeting is simply this: professionalism versus taking things personal. To be professional and to be a person that takes things personal, just idiotic comments, just small talk, locker talk, just being around different personalities with different backgrounds. These things like this, people take personal. So, I am a person that envisions myself to have my own business, and in order for me to have my own business, I need to have my own philosophy and explain to people that I want to hire what that philosophy is. And so this is one of many videos that will explain what that philosophy is, so that potential employees that I am hiring can be well aware of what they're getting into. I feel as a owner, I feel as a businessman and entrepreneur that I envision myself in. Not quite there yet, and I'm humble enough to accept that. I feel that it is my part to let my employees know what they're getting themselves into, so that they may choose to work for me or they may choose not to work for me. I don't like providing gray areas, promising a certain amount of money, benefits, and not letting you know really what the morality or philosophy of the company that I'm trying to build. Because what I want is employees that are going to last, if they choose to, a lifetime. I don't think I want people coming in and out of my job, coming in and out of my business. I don't think I want that. I would like to avoid that. So in order to avoid that, I need to treat my employees with the best resources that I have to provide, and one of those many resources will be the philosophy of the company. So that if my employee feels, because it might be many employees that I have, when that employee, he or she feels that they're in a gray area or being left behind, they can revert back to the philosophy. And if everybody can revert back to the philosophy, then that philosophy stands. And then that means that employee, whether I tell them or not, congratulations, or whether I tell them or not, you did a good job, you're important to my company because you're upholding the philosophy that I have expressed to you when I decided to hire you. Because we're busy people, I don't think we have time to always be there behind each other, giving each other pats on the back, this and that. But it should never be forgotten as well. Anyways, that's a side note. What I want to talk about is professionalism versus taking things personal. Professionalism fights against your personality. Professionalism fights against what you like. Professionalism fights against your character flaws. So to be professional, you have to really kind of forget about your outside life, outside of work. That's the whole point of work. You're not bringing in your personality to work. If you are, then you're an artist. You make music. You probably design shoes. You're probably the CEO of a company. You're not bringing your personality or splash. And most companies nowadays don't really care for your own personality and splash. And as an employee, when you figure that out, you know to keep it professional. You know that any conversation has nothing to do with your own person. You know why? Because you're at work. You're here to perform a task. And I feel if you understand that, just going into any job that you want to go into, understanding that you're here to do a work. When you have nothing else to do, get back to work. Tell yourself that. Express that within yourself. Let your person reason with yourself like that, because that is called being a diligent person. And a diligent person will not work before mean men. You can only go up. And if your growth is being stunted, it's because God wants to make something into you, wants to perfect something in you. So, if you're this person that is diligent, shows up to work, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, not that I want to get into your personal life, doesn't go have sex or whatever, doesn't party or whatever, not that I want to get in your personal life, then the best thing for you to do is let the character, your character flaws, be polished, developed, and grow. Because that's what you have to work on now. Because a good worker, a very good worker, is only as good as a machine. So you would have to develop a good character to be able to sell not only to people your age group, but to the kids of people in your age group. Not only to sell to the kids of people in your age group, but to their grandparents. You would have to develop these skills in order for you to have the competitive edge in this business climate. What sticks out and what does people like? Or what do people like in general? They like good, enriching, energizing customer service. That's what my philosophy in my business is. It's an energizing customer service. Maybe I did it good here, but I want it to even be better than this good here. I don't ever want any of my employees to think that, oh, I did it good here. This is the recipe. This is how I should always do it. I want my employees to be able to reason in such a way where they say, I want the next customer to have an energizing experience. If there's anything you can do, even with the hardest customer that you're dealing with, if you can give them at least somewhat of an energizing customer service, then you did your best. Because sometimes you just can't please everyone. But that's the mind frame that I want my employees to have. And I think with that, you're winning and you're climbing up the ladder to success. Just know that when you do work for somebody or you're starting your own business, nothing is personal. Don't put your personality into your work too much. Don't tie hand in hand with your personality to your work. What you need to tie into your work is your good characteristics that you have. There's a certain amount of characteristics that you need to have in order to be successful at a job. And with those characteristics that you do have, like showing up on time, like being diligent, taking the initiative, communicating, coming up with a master plan, dealing with customer service, being safe, making sure that everybody is taking their break and going to lunch when they need to. Coming dressed orderly and clean. Being shaved up and trimmed up. Being having a good presentation of your person. And knowing when to not engage in conversations or situations that produce nothing for your work. If you have these things, then you're going to keep your job. So the next step, if you're keeping your job and you're good at your job, then you should consider, how is it that I become a supervisor? Or how is it that I become a manager? Or how is it that I start my own business? And this is what should be entertaining you, if nothing is entertaining you at all. And if nothing is entertaining at you at all in this matter, it's because there's a chance you might be taking things personal. And it's time to stop taking things personal, because it's counterproductive against professionalism. And there will be words spoken, there will be disagreements, there will be sparks against the iron. But that's the whole point of the work process, of getting to where you need to get. There will be disagreements, arguments, this and that, back and forth, a phone call that, you know what, I kind of don't want this now. There will be persuasion, selling, tactics. There's so many things and variables that is negative or may come off negative in getting the job done for the sake of getting the job done. It just happens that way. And in order for you to overcome, you must not take things personal. And then just to add a little Christian perspective, if you're practicing what you preach, it is time for you to grow. All right, y'all be blessed. Always keep the devil underneath your foot and let God be by your side.